From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2058, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 12, 2017. As Category 4, Tropical Cyclone Debbie raked Australia with max winds of 163 miles per hour. Hams and some of the Amateur Radio Newsline family were there.
Amateur Radio responded despite challenges of its own as Tropical Cyclone Debbie battered the tourist and agricultural centres in north and central Queensland. Hams along the cyclone track experienced in storm response made preparations, most especially in the regions of Bowen, Mackay, Central Highlands and Townsville, according to Gavin VK4 Zulu, who lives in Townsville. They checked radio gear, dismantled fragile antenna systems and ensured they had enough fuel to run emergency power generators. Gavin told Amateur Radio Newsline that by Sunday the 26th of March, hams with HF antennas still aloft boosted call-in numbers on the local nets. On Monday, the 27th of March, counter-disaster authorities, which included some embedded hams, tweaked their pre-deployment plans according to Gavin. Bowen, one of the affected towns, was able to provide VHF repeater coverage throughout the cyclone and indeed was on the air despite lack of power in the town. This thanks to the Bowen Amateur Radio Group and in particular Jeff, VK4JDW, who was powering the repeater off the emergency generator at his home where the repeater is situated. The antenna system survived winds of as much as 125 mile per hour. Further inland, the Central Highlands linked repeater system remained functional, but its northern coastal node, the Midge Point repeater, was disabled by structural and power system damage. As the cyclone swept out, hams put their HF antennas back up and have joined the nets with stories of either dodging the bullet or being on the recovery trail. Two of Amateur Radio Newsline's regular reporters were isolated for several days as rivers to the south of Brisbane, the VK4 capital city, broke their banks. John, VK4JJW, and yours truly, VK4BB. So, filing this report, it's an almost dry VK4BB. Graham Kemp for the Amateur Radio Newsline.
Hams were also on the scene in a Colombian mountain town threatened by flooding and subsequent landslides.
An amateur radio emergency response network was activated on 40 metres in Colombia to assist with recovery efforts there following flooding and a massive landslide outside the mountain town of Mocoa near the border with Ecuador. With more than 200 dead and many others missing or injured and all electricity cut off, the amateurs have been deployed to assist local fire departments and other emergency responders, according to Roberto Ray, HK3CW. A state of emergency was declared after the Mocoa River and two tributaries overflowed their banks into the town, where it devastated residents' homes. The flood is considered one of the worst natural disasters in Colombia in the last 2 decades. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
For the rest of this week's Amateur Radio News, please listen to the full Amateur Radio Newsline report online on a repeater near you or on shortwave radio station WTWW at 9930 and 5085 kilohertz. Another reminder, we're at the halfway point in the nominating period for the 2017 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Young Ham of the Year Award. Nominations close May 31st. You can find the nominating form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. We'll present the award at the Huntsville Hamfest in August. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Graham Kemp, VK4BB, Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.